the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Bunishek?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Esparza, you are the mother of David Rangel Jr., is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
And David Rangel is the father of David Rangel Jr., is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Were you ever married to Mr. Rangel?
Yes.
Okay. Are you still married to Mr. Rangel?
No, sir, I'm in the process of getting a divorce.
Okay. So if you're in the process of getting a divorce, you're still married to Mr. Rangel, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. When did you separate from Mr. Rangel?
It, it was on, I don't know how long it's been, but I have a police report that whenever I called my mother when she was in the hospital, and I don't remember exactly what date it was that I separated from him, but I just had to leave my apartment behind.
Okay, well, let's see. David Rangel's birth date, David Rangel's Jr.'s birth date is what?
7/23/2022.
Okay, did you separate from David Rangel Sr. after David Rangel Jr. was born?
No, I did not. We were still together.
Okay, but I'm saying, did you separate uh, after little David was born?
No, sir. I just left from my apartment. I don't exactly remember what date that was.
Okay, but then that would be within the past 2 years, maybe, if it happened after David was born?
No, because we were still together at the time that, David was born, and I don't remember exactly what date it was. I know it was that day that Maria went to go pick me up.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what date, but
Do you
I know she did.
And it's okay if you don't remember the exact date. I'm just trying to kind of get a ballpark. Do you remember how long you were together still after David was born?
For like 2 years.
For almost 2 years? Okay, it's almost 2 years now. So did you just separate just recently?
Well, that's how long I used to. No, it wasn't recently. It's been a while since we separated, but
Okay.
I don't remember how long it was that since I moved in with him, and we had a kid and all that, and I don't remember how long it was.
Okay. Since you separated from Mr. Rangel, has he visited with little David?
No, sir, he has not.
Okay. While the two of you were still living together, did he spend time with David Jr.?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He would spend time with him, but then that's whenever I got my own apartment, and then he would go to my apartment to go spend time with the kiddo. And, the reason I got my own apartment is because I had my daughter at the time, and I had to get my own place.
Okay. So you had to get your own place because you had a daughter?
Because I had my daughter, yes, my daughter Christina. I had her in my apartment with me.
Okay. And what's the reason that your daughter couldn't stay in the home with you and Mr. Rangel and David Jr.?
The reason my daughter couldn't stay in the home is because she had made an allegation against Mr. Rangel that he had sexually assaulted her. And I took her
Okay.
to the hospital, and they found that it was to be that.
Okay. So they found that it was possible or likelihood of some kind?
Yes.
Okay.
Objection. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Okay. And so because of the hospital's investigation, they couldn't live together. Is that correct?
Yes, couldn't live together. So I had to get my own place.
Okay. And was that about the same time that you separated from Mr. Rangel?
Yes. I don't remember what date exactly.
And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to remember the exact date. Okay. You understand that going forward from here, it's possible that Mr. Rangel may have rights to visit with David Jr. What kind of visitation would you like for Mr. Rangel to have with David Jr.?
Me personally, I don't feel comfortable with him visiting because of the threat. Because I don't want it to be without uh, supervised visits.
Okay. And you mentioned a threat. What threat was made?
Whether he was gonna kill me, my son, and my daughter.
Okay. And did he say that to you face to face, over the phone? How did he make that threat?
Said it over the phone, but he didn't text it. He just told me over the phone. I don't know if he was drinking. I don't know if he was intoxicated when he said that, but he did say it.
Okay.
I
And
was
so,
scared.
since that threat was made, have you had any contact with Mr. Rangel?
No, I have not, but I been getting friend requests from him on Facebook. His sister Linda sent me a message on Snapchat asking how is my daughter doing and how is the baby doing. I mean, my daughter is not her concern. For one, the little baby is, but still, I still feel that they were trying to get something out of me.
Okay. Let's just try to answer the question, okay?
Okay. And so do you want to have any kind of contact with Mr. Rangel? Okay. Do you
Okay,
want,
hold on. Mrs. Esparza, you have to answer out loud. We're recording this and we have to capture all your answers. So you can't just shake your head or nod because that way we can't get a recording of that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so ask the question again, Mr. Bunishek.
do you want to have any contact with Mr. Rangel?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you want to have your address, your phone number, and other identifying information withheld from the order so that Mr. Rangel wouldn't have access to them?
Yes, I want you to keep it confidential.
Okay. If you do have to communicate with Mr. Rangel, would you be comfortable using, say, a co-parenting application where he wouldn't have to have your address? You can just text through an app.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you even feel comfortable communicating with Mr. Rangel to make decisions for the benefit of David?
What does that mean?
That
Like,
means like deciding where he goes to school, talking about his religious education, medical decisions, things like that that parents talk about. Would you feel comfortable talking to him about those kind of things, or do you want to make those decisions yourself?
and when would I mean, I don't have to speak to him right now, do I? I mean,
Well, at the moment you're testifying, so no, but in the future, you may have to talk to him. Do you feel like you can make those decisions together with him, or do you want to make those decisions on your own?
I could feel comfortable talking to him, but I just don't want him having my phone number. I mean,
Okay,
no.
okay. All right, now you understand one of the reasons that we're here is to set child support going forward. Did you also want to ask for retroactive child support? And that would be support going back into the past.
Yes.
Okay. And you don't know exactly how long you've been separated from Mr. Rangel. It's just been some time within the past 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember if the separation was after David Jr.'s first birthday?
I'm not too sure. No, sir.
Okay. Okay. What kind of health insurance does David Jr. have?
David has WellPoint.
WellPoint. I'm not familiar with that. Is that a government plan? Is that through your employer?
Is Medicaid. It's his
Medicaid?
children's Medicaid.
Medicaid? Okay.
Yes, but right now at this very moment, trying to get it back from him for him because they took it away from him for now until I do a application to get him back on Medicaid.
Okay.
As far as the baby being good on everything, he's up to date on everything. I even had to pay out of pocket to, get his shots and all that, but he's up to date on everything.
Okay. And just to go back on visitation, you said you'd only feel comfortable with supervised visitation, and that was because of the threat. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you believe that he was being truthful in that threat, that was what he intended to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Ricker.
Ma'am, my name is Anna Ricker, and I represent Mr. Rangel. I have some questions about the litany about what's happened between you and your Mr. Rangel. In fact, you lived with him and got pregnant with him, and then your ex made allegations that he was touching your daughter. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, who's your ex?
Armando Robles is my
Y'all
ex.
still together?
No, we're not.
Okay, when did you guys break up?
I'm not too sure when we broke up or anything like that. I mean, it just didn't work out in between me and Armando. And
Okay. So when did you guys, does he have any, here's why I'm asking. You have a protective order against Mr. Armando Robles. Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
And he's not supposed to have any contact with you or your child or David Rangel Jr. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. He has no contact with us.
And when's the last time you've had contact with him?
Not since over the phone when he's able to speak to his child.
Okay. You filed an affidavit and swore under oath in a protective order against Mr. Armando Robles that he too has threatened to kill you, threatened to take your daughter from you. Isn't that true?
I never said that he threatened to kill me. It was probably Linda and them, but he never threatened to kill me. The only thing he threatened to do was take my child away, but that's because we had our ups and downs.
Okay. Your Honor, do you recall filing an application for a protective order in this case? Or against David, excuse me, against Armando Robles?
Talking to me?
No. No.
Ms. Esparza, she's asking you a question, ma'am. Do you recall filing an application for a protective order against Armando Robles?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know when you did that? Would that be in 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, may I share screen?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Maybe.
You should be able to. You have permission to, I think.
Okay, there we go. Can y'all see that? Yeah.
No,
You see the screen?
no. Cannot see the screen.
Are y'all able to see it?
There we go.
Okay. Do you have it now?
Yes, but it just is a blank screen that says Ricker Law Firm has started sharing screen.
All right, let's see if I can get it.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay,
Okay.
we can see it now.
Sorry, that was very complicated. I didn't intend for it to be. Okay. Let me scroll this down just a little bit. I'm trying. There it is. I have no idea why this is terribly slow today. I apologize. Here we go. Can you guys see this
Mrs.
scrolling?
Mrs. Sparza, you please sit down. You're still on the stand. She's asking you questions, and she's going to ask you questions about this document, I
Yes,
believe.
ma'am. My phone was fixing to die. I had to find a charger.
Okay. Did you get that taken care of?
Yes, ma'am. I was trying to find somewhere to plug it in.
Okay. Well, let's let you plug it in right quick while she's getting to the page that she's looking for.
If it could be any slower, it would. Sorry.
That's okay.
There we
Did you
go.
get it plugged in, Mrs. Sparza?
I'm going right now, ma'am, to plug it in.
Okay.
Okay, yes, ma'am. It's plugged in.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see the screen and the words on the screen, Mrs. Sparza?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
Okay. This is an affidavit that you filed when David was 7 months old. That would have been about August of last year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. It says you fear for Christina, yourself, from Armando Robles. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
And you also swore under oath here that Armando Robles has threatened to kill me when he has been speaking with my daughter on Mondays and Wednesdays. He has threatened to kill on several occasions. He has also threatened to take my daughter from me on these phone calls. I end the phone calls when he starts threatening my life or threatening to take my daughter from me. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am. I do. That was Linda and them that they have never liked him, so they added that. He has never threatened to kill me. He did say that he was going to take my daughter, but he has never threatened to kill me.
Okay. Additionally, you wrote in this affidavit that Armando threatened to kill me on a phone call on January 10th of 24. And you fear for your life, the life of your children. He'll be able to find out where I'm residing and come home to kill me. I've been in a relationship with him for years. He violates court orders. You wrote all that in this affidavit. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. But Linda Montoya was with me when we did all that, and
Okay.
they never liked him, so they came with
And
all
here
that.
you write, there's a CPS investigation regarding sexual abuse of your daughter by Armando Robles. Isn't
I
that
did not.
correct?
I did not say that. No, ma'am. It must have been Linda and David because they have never liked Armando.
Is this your signature in front of a notary public?
Yes, it is my signature, but I have never said that he wanted to kill me or nothing like that.
So this affidavit that you filed with the court, swearing under oath that all this was true. Let me go back up here and let's look at the date you filed that. Was on 3/8 of 24. You remember doing that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we go up here, and there was a hearing, and this judge granted a protective order in Lamb County based on your sworn testimony on 3/19 of last year. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And this protective order was good, or is good, until March 19th of 26. Is that right?
Yes.
Has he been around you or your children since this protective order was issued?
No, he has not.
Okay. Then it looks like you hired Brandy Criswell to file a motion to get rid of this protective order in February of this year.
Yes, I
Is that
did because
right?
yes, I had hired Brandy because I wanted her to remove the protective order.
From a man who threatened to kill you, take your child, and kill your children.
He
Why did
never
you do
threatened to
that?
he never threatened to kill me. Yes, we had our ups and downs. Yes, but that was all Linda and David putting stuff in my head about him. Yes, I signed, but that's what they were telling me to do, or else they were gonna kill me if I didn't say anything about Armando.
Oh, so now David and Linda are threatening to kill you for signing this affidavit. Is that your new testimony?
No, it happened when she took me to the attorney general office with Lindsay Murray to file that protective order, and that's what they used to put in my head to say the truth, and that's what
I
I
would
put.
like I would like to offer Exhibit 5, which is the motion to vacate the protective order in the application.
Any objection?
I'd object on the ground of relevance. I don't see what the relevance is of a protective order against someone who's not a party to this procedure, but
I'm gonna overrule your objection and admit, Mrs. Esparza, do you have any objection to that document coming into evidence?
No.
All right, it will be admitted as Respondents Exhibit 1. Ms. Ricker, can you email that document to Ms. Renteria, my court coordinator, so that it can be marked and filed in the records of this case?
I can. I have other exhibits. Do you want me to wait, or do you want that document now?
No, you can wait till the end of the hearing to do it.
Okay.
I'm just, before I forget to remind you to send whatever is admitted.
Okay, no problem. In fact, I'll have all of our exhibits sent over right now.
Okay.
Email all our exhibits to okay, those should be on their way.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Rangel, when you left Lamb County was that August of last year before school started?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who helped you move?
My ex-mother-in-law, Mary Salinas.
Are you working now?
No, I'm disabled.
Okay. How much money do you make a month?
800.
And do you pay rent?
No, I do not.
How do you live? Who do you live with that allows you to not pay any rent?
I was living in my house, but I mean, I still am there.
Yes.
Sarah, we can hear you guys. Might want to
Yeah, we
mute.
can. So you might want to mute
that,
yourself
Sarah.
unless you want to.
Is that a mute up there? I think so.
It's easier to look on the laptop to do it. Yeah. Okay. You were living in my house. Is that your house, a house that you own,
Yes,
Mrs.
it was.
Esparza?
Yes, I was. I wasn't owning it. I was renting it from my landlord. I still am.
Okay. Why are you not living there now?
I am living there. I just
Okay.
don't
So
want.
how much?
I just don't want Linda and David to find where I'm at. So that's why I keep my address confidential.
Okay. So how much rent are you paying?
700.
A month?
Yes.
So you make 800 a month and you pay 700 a month in rent. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And
Because I
of this 700, with the extra money, do you have a car?
no, I do not own a car.
So how do you get your child to the doctor?
My friend, Mary, Selena,
Why are you disabled?
because I have back issues.
Okay. And do you get food stamps?
Yes, ma'am.
But you don't, your Medicaid expired. Is that right?
Yes, it did. I'm in the process of getting it fixed.
How much do you get a month in food stamps?
523.
And when did the Medicaid expire?
I'm not too sure, ma'am, when it expired. I just know that I renewed it.
Have you filled out that paperwork yet?
Yes, I have.
When did you do that?
I did it barely yesterday.
Online?
I mailed it off. Yes, I did it. They sent me paperwork in the mail and I filled it out and sent it.
Okay. So baby David was a preemie. He was 3 pounds, wasn't he?
Yes.
And does the ECI debt come in now?
Yes, they do.
Okay. How often and for what reason?
To help him
I'm sorry,
get
counsel,
in.
can you spell out what that is? I don't know. I don't recognize that acronym.
It is, that's a good question. It comes from the school district and they come in, and I honestly don't know what ECI stands for. Let me
It's
see if I can.
it's called early childhood intervention.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it's called.
And why are they coming in to help him and how often?
They come in at least 3 times a week because to help Mr. David with his therapy and all that.
Okay, what kind of therapy does he need? Can he walk yet?
No, the doing physical therapy and occupational therapy on him to
Okay,
help him.
how old is he?
He is a year and 9 months.
And he cannot walk, is that correct?
No, he cannot.
Can he roll over?
Yes, ma'am, he can.
Okay, can he crawl?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can he drink from a bottle by himself?
Yes, ma'am.
Can he drink from a cup by himself?
No, he cannot.
Can he eat by himself?
Yes, ma'am. I mean,
Okay.
like finger foods, you know.
Okay. So what else is he behind on other than walking? Can he talk? Can he say more than 5 words?
No, he cannot. He just says mama and, papa and
Well, who does he call Papa?
no, not papa. He just says like food, like papa, papa. Like
Oh,
he wants food.
like potatoes.
Yes, like food. That's what he tells me.
Okay. And so he can't uh communicate other than less than 5 words. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Does he have any other developmental delays?
Just besides him being born preemie, as far as I know, no.
Does he take medication?
No, ma'am.
Who is his doctor?
His doctor is Michael Shane Horde here in
Where?
Brownfield. Dr. Michael Horde.
And how often does he see Dr. Horde?
Um, I have an appointment coming up with the doctor for him, and I have
When?
to take um like actually on June the 5th, I have an appointment with Dr. Horde for little man.
Okay. What's the reason for the appointment?
To get him some cough medicine and cough, because he's been coughing and everything like that.
But you don't have any Medicaid. So you're going to
No, but
private pay for that?
I pay out of pocket. Yes, I do. I'm gonna have to
Well,
because, for the meantime, I'm gonna have to, I do have a dentist appointment coming up for my son, which I do have to pay $75, and I'm gonna go ahead and pay the $75 because it is my responsibility to pay for my son. And as long as my son is healthy, I'm gonna do it.
how long have you been having to private pay? All this year?
Yes.
All last year?
It was this year and last year since his Medicaid got taken away, I've been having to pay out of pocket. Like the last time I had to pay $180
Okay, when was that?
back in September that I had to pay $180.
Okay. So from September until now, you haven't applied for Medicaid?
I mean, I have it, but it got denied.
Okay,
His
why did it get
Medicaid,
denied?
I don't know. That's what I've been trying to figure out. I filled out the application. Mary Salinas helped me fill out the application because I can't really read or write. So Mary Salinas had helped me fill it out, and I took it up there and it got denied. His Medicaid
Okay.
did. And I don't know if I have to, it's hard to get a hold of WellPoint and tell them why did it get denied.
So I'm concerned, how do you know what medicine your child is given if you can't read or write? Who helps you with that?
Mary does. Mary Salinas does.
Do you live near Mary Salinas?
No, I do not live near her, but I live in my house where I'm at, where I don't want to give any information to where I'm at.
I
It's
understand.
confidential.
So how often does Mary come help you?
Well, whenever I call her, she's there for me. You know, she's the one
So
that helps
once a
me.
month
Yes,
or more?
more.
Okay. Let's talk about you and David. When you were together, did David go with you guys to the doctor?
Yes, he did, but he would always sit in the truck.
Okay. Did David help take care of the baby when you went to the store or went to do whatever you went to do?
Sometimes I would take the kid in with me.
Okay. How many children does David have?
I'm not too sure
What are you sure of?
how many kids he has. I think he only has this one. I'm not too sure.
You don't know he has a 44-year-old child, a 16-year-old child, and a 15-year-old child, and a child who died in a car accident?
Um, I knew that, but I didn't know that he's never told me that before. I mean,
Okay.
I know he has just two little girls.
Hey, how old are his little girls?
I think 16 and 17.
So he was obviously able to raise those kids, right?
Um, yes, I mean,
Did they come
I'm
over to your house when you were together?
I only met two of his little girls, yes, but he wasn't raising them. Their aunt was.
Okay. Did they come over to the house?
Whenever I was with David, yes, they did. They got to meet the baby brother.
Okay. What are their names? Do you remember?
Jasmine and Michaela.
How did you how is your older child does she go to school yet?
My older daughter, yes, she does.
Okay. And does a bus pick her up? How does she get to school?
The bus picks her up.
Okay. So how would you exchange this child with David for him to get to know his son again? If you don't want him to know where you live, how can you get this child somewhere where he can pick it up and him not know where you live?
It would have to be for him to meet me somewhere because like I said, I personally don't feel comfortable with him taking the kiddo. I want him to visit the kiddo, supervise somewhere. I don't want him taking the kiddo because he might take the kiddo from me and I will never see the baby again. Because
Okay,
David
so
is
that's your word, that he would take the child and not return.
Yes, that is my word. He will not return the kiddo to me.
Okay. Pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Bunishek, do you have any additional questions?
I don't believe so, Judge.
Mrs. Esparza, do you have anything you want to add to or explain about your testimony?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Bunishek, call your next witness.
Call David Rangel.
Mr. Rangel, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in the cause before the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Speak up if you would, sir. We are recording this.
Right. Mr. Rangel, you're the father of David Rangel Jr., is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What's your date of birth, sir?
10/27/54.
54. Okay, so that makes you how old?
70.
What kind of visitation do you envision having with David Jr.?
Well, like
I'm going to object to that question because he asked for visitation. And at this point, we have concerns over some primary concerns. So, and I don't want him negotiating with my client on that answer.
Mr. Bunishek, response?
I'm not sure that is a category of objection to a question. I'm
negotiating.
asking what kind of I'm asking what kind of visitation he envisions having. I'd like to know what kind of visitation he envisions taking place. If he envisions visitations in his own home, if he envisions
Okay,
someone else supervising.
Okay.
I'll withdraw.
Are you asking what kind of visitation he wants? Is that more to the point?
That would probably have been a better way to phrase it, Judge.
Okay. Can you phrase it that way then?
What kind of visitation would you like to have with David Jr., Mr. Rangel?
Well, at least I want to keep him, say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, so
like that, and
so you're thinking about all weekend. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Has your attorney gone over with you what a standard possession order is like?
No, ma'am. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Well, a standard possession order would be first, third, and fifth weekends of every month, as you describe, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do you believe that visitation would work for you?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that you can handle that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've heard you've raised other children before, but I know that
Yes,
was
sir.
a little bit ago, and it's a little bit different having a
Yes.
2-year-old when you're 71. I understand.
Yes.
So, but you think you're up for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of home are you living in right now, Mr. Rangel?
My own room, 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
Okay. How many people live in that home?
just me.
Okay. You're on your own in a 3-bedroom
sir.
house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So David Jr. would have his own room?
Yes, sir.
Are you already set up for David Jr. to visit? Do you have a crib?
I got one, the one that I had for him. I've still
Okay.
got that, and
And you got other baby supplies that you would need for a child of David's age to visit?
yes,
Okay. And you've got food that he can eat. You've got medical supplies to care for him. It sounds like David needs
Yes.
some care.
I can get all of that.
You're ready for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if the judge orders that you're going to have visitation that's something other than that, either less than first, third, and fifth weekend, or even supervised, would you be all right with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You just want to see David?
Yes, sir.
How long has it been since you've seen David Jr.?
Since October the 2nd, of last year.
Okay. Since October 2nd of last year, what efforts have you made to connect with Ms. Esparza to try and visit David?
None, because I don't know where she moved. I didn't know where she went to. I know she went to Brownfield, but that's the only last time that I heard about
Okay.
all this, I don't.
And we've heard you have at least 2 other children, I believe, who are below the age of 18.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are those the only 2 children you have that are below the age of 18?
That's it. Well, the little baby,
Okay.
little David.
Okay. So the 2 teenagers and then little David.
Yes, sir.
Got it. What do you do for a living?
Disability,
Okay.
disabled.
So you're collecting disability. How much do you get in disability every month?
Well, I was getting, the last, it was 1,300 and something now. And now.
We have that to submit, Jason.
Okay. If you'd like, I'll step back and let you offer that right now so we can see what kind of disability it is. So I don't have to ask him if it's SSDI or SSI.
You bet. Let me pull that up.
Well, can you just tell us, is it SSI or SSDI, Ms. Ricker?
Well, let me put my readers on. It's got to be SSDI.
Okay. All right.
Because they're
Because it's-
withholding.
Right.
It's,
So they're
it's a chunk of
withholding.
change.
They're withholding from it. So it's SS.
Yes.
So can you continue now, Mr. Benishek?
Okay.
And I
Yes.
misspoke. I'm sorry, I want to interject that. I thought we had his SSDI statement. And, oh, I'm sorry, I do. 1,134 as of April 2025. And they take out 662 each month to pay child support, alimony, or court-ordered victim restitution. Kind of the
Is
standard
that
letter.
Or on this case, which, I mean, they shouldn't be taking out on this case since a new trial was granted. Or is it
This-
for the other case?
It must be for the other children. Let me share this with y'all. This is Respondents Exhibit 6.
Okay, let's not do that right now. Let's wait.
Okay.
So your
Okay.
case, I'm just trying to determine, is he paying child support for the other children?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Benishek. You can, and once she introduces it, you're gonna have a chance to redirect. So let's.
All right. And Your Honor, I think that's the last thing I needed to get in. I'll pass this witness.
All right. Mrs. Esparza, do you have any questions for Mr. Rangel?
No, I just don't want him to take
Okay,
the
ma'am,
baby.
stop. All right, Ms. Ricker?
I'm going to reserve my questions with the permission of the court and call his sister Linda
Okay.
first. I think it'll put everything in order.
Okay, so you're just gonna
Well-
recall him during your case?
I will.
Okay, well, it's
Okay.
not your case right now, so you can't call a
Oh,
witness.
sorry. I'll just-
Mr. Benishek, call your next witness, I guess.
One last witness. I'll call Mary Salinas.
Okay. Let me let her in. Miss- Ms. Salinas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you've been called to the witness stand. If you would, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in the cause before the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Benishek?
All right. Ms. Salinas, how do you know Rosemary Esparza?
She was my daughter-in-law.
Okay. And so she was married to your son?
Yes, yes, sir.
Who is your son?
Armando Robles Salinas.
Okay. And I want to take you back to a phone call. I think it would have happened around September of last year. Did you get a phone call from Rosemary Esparza?
Yes, I did, like around 11:30, around
Okay.
11:30 night.
Okay, and we can't go into what she told you over the phone, but in response to that phone call, what did you do next?
I went to go pick her up.
Okay, when you went to
She
pick
was
up Ms. Esparza, how did she seem to you? How did she appear?
crying, hysterical, crying, afraid. She gave me the baby boy. She was hysterical. She was very afraid.
Okay.
I just grabbed what I could right quick, and we left.
And do you have any idea what she was afraid of?
Of David, that David had threatened to kill her and the kids, and he had told her apparently that that he was already too old, that he
Objection,
had nothing to lose.
hearsay.
No.
That's,
Objection to hearsay.
about what, okay, yeah, that's true. Sustained,
Yeah, I don't have a redemption for that, Judge. So
yeah.
all right. So Ms. Salinas, was Mr. Rangel there at the time that you went to pick up Ms. Esparza?
No, no.
Okay. Did you see any signs that perhaps he had been there?
Yes, from well, not
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that? What was that again? Can you repeat that answer?
yes, that well, that she told me that he was around.
Oh,
And then the next day, pues we went to go report it. We went back,
okay. You say you went
and
to
it's
go report it. Who did you report it to?
there at the police station in Lamb County. And when I brought her back the next day, we reported it in Brownfield too.
Okay, so you helped Ms. Esparza report it to the police?
Yes, yes, I had to. I mean, I was afraid for those kids and her.
Okay. Do you remember filling out a witness statement?
Yes, as a matter of fact, yes.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Rangel was ever arrested as a result of this?
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ricker.
What's that, Ms. Salinas?
Hello?
I'm sorry, you cut out. What was the question again, counsel?
When was that, Ms. Salinas?
When we reported it, or when I went to go pick her up?
Both?
Well, I went to go pick her up in September, in the first week of September.
Of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so, do you know that she had filed for a protective order from your son just right before that?
Yes, but they
Okay.
threatened her. They threatened her and told her what to say in the courthouse.
Objection, non-responsive, and hearsay.
Sustained.
I'm sorry.
You just need to answer the question, Ms. Salinas.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ms. Salinas, how often do you go over and help Rosemary?
Twice or three times a week with the baby.
Okay. So if she said earlier that you came over once a month, that's
Yeah.
a very different number, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I do go over a lot. I do go over a lot. Then again, Rosemary is slow learner. She's
Do you take the baby to the doctor?
sometimes, but
Okay.
it's mostly her. She mostly takes the baby.
How does she do that?
I take her.
So you transport her?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of why the children have been without Medicaid since September?
I don't know. Apparently that David had something to do with it. I'm not sure, ma'am.
Why do you think that?
Well, because Rosemary said something about that he had talked to Attorney General, I don't know, something like that. that he didn't want to pay or something. I don't know. I don't know about.
Do you financially help Rosemary?
Yes, I do.
How much do you contribute a month?
Oh my God. Well, I help her a little bit with diapers. Sometimes with the bills when there ain't enough.
Okay. So if David were to get access to his son, could you transport her to a location to make that exchange happen, like the McDonald's in Brownfield or the police department on a regular basis? Do you work? Or could that be arranged?
No, I don't work. No, I don't work. Yes, I could transfer her. Yes, I can. But then again, I'm afraid for their lives, really, really, and myself actually going and taking her.
Let's talk about your son Armando. Is he around at all in the picture?
Um, like once a month probably he comes around.
Okay. And does he come visit his kids? His daughter?
Yes, of course, with me there. Yes, yes.
Okay. They come, I guess, to your house?
To my house. Yes.
Okay. And does mom know about that? Or do you do that without Rosemary's
I don't know.
permission?
Yeah, I guess yes. But
What does
mostly
that
it's
mean?
through that. Well, I usually he talks to the baby and like on the phone, a video.
Okay. But you said he comes around once a month and visits his child, and you're there, right?
Yes, yes, but not every month. No.
Okay. But so did he come last month? In May?
Um, and Mother's Day, I think yes, he came around for me for Mother's Day.
Okay. And who all was there that day?
It was just me and Christina, my girlfriend.
And Rosemary?
No.
Okay. So, are you aware that he is not to have contact with this child from both a protective order against Christina and baby
Yes,
David?
yes, but he came to visit me. Actually, not the baby, but I have the baby. So I mean, he's
Was
seen her,
David there
but
too?
no.
Are you aware that David has also threatened to kill Rosemary and threatened to kill your grandchildren? I'm not David,
Yes, I am aware of
Armando.
that.
Armando. That's what I meant to say.
Um,
Your son
Armando,
Armando has threatened to kill
no,
Rosemary
never,
and the grandchildren. So
no, never.
if Rosemary signed a sworn affidavit to that effect and got a protective order against your son, that would surprise you, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would surprise me, but David and Linda threatened her with a gun to say what she had to say in the courtroom.
Objection, non-responsive.
Sustained.
All right. Pass the witness.
She sent a letter to the Littlefield to the judge saying
Okay.
that.
All right. Mrs. Esparza, do you have any questions for Ms. Salinas?
No.
All right. Mr. Bunishek, any additional questions for Ms. Salinas?
No further questions, Judge.
All right, Ms. Salinas, you may be excused. Is it okay with everyone if I excuse Ms. Salinas? No one anticipates recalling her.
It's
No.
fine with me, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Salinas, you may
Judge.
disconnect from the meeting, ma'am.
Judge, could I please say something?
Not unless someone asks you a question, you may not say anything.
Yeah, can I give a permission to speak, please?
No, ma'am. You can ask her a question if you want, but you cannot, it's not You can't just tell her she can say whatever she wants. If you want to ask her a question, you may.
I mean, she does have something to say. How would she go about that? Can somebody ask her something so she can respond? I mean, before she
Anyone,
disconnects.
yes, the lawyers can ask her something. You can ask her something. But I can't just let her say whatever she wants to say.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You may disconnect.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Bunishek, call your next witness.
I believe that's all, Your Honor. I'll rest.
All right, Ms. Ricker.
I'll call Linda. Remind me your last name, Linda?
Montoya.
I knew that. Thank you. Linda Montoya.
Ms. Montoya, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in the cause before the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ricker.
Linda, can you walk us through the history of this family? When did you
Okay,
meet?
yeah. We're gonna
Yeah,
have to have a little more specific question than that. That calls for a
get you
narrative
there.
answer.
When did you first meet Rosemary Esparza?
2023.
Did you ever threaten her in any way, shape, form, or fashion to sign the affidavit attached to the protective order?
No.
Okay. At what point did she move in with David?
She moved in 2023.
And is that when she got pregnant with David Jr.?
Yes.
How long did they live together before she came to live with you?
I'd say about 6 months, maybe.
Okay. Then what happened?
She was, she had a CPS case report about accusations of David Rangel and Armando Salinas. And she came to live with me because she didn't have nowhere else to go.
When was that? What month? What year?
That was in 2023, 24. Like
What month?
about February of 24, maybe.
How many months did she live with you?
She lived with me for about 3, 4 months.
And then where did she go?
She went and got an apartment in Littlefield because she couldn't go back to David Rangel's house.
Okay. So during that time, someone accused the men that she was involved with, David and Armando, of
Yes.
touching Christina. Is that right? Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Okay. Have any charges ever been brought against either man?
Against both of them, yes.
Okay. And what's happened to those charges?
As far as David Rangel, nothing was of it. With Armando, I haven't heard anything on that.
Did either of those men get arrested?
No.
Okay. So charges, what do you mean by that? Is that something that there was an allegation and CPS looked into it, or the police got involved?
CPS said the allegations for David were from Armando, and the allegations against Armando is because I took Christina to the hospital and they
Okay.
were, so.
So what happened that made you raise a red flag and get folks involved? Tell me the time frame when that happened and what exactly happened on that day?
Okay. On that day, it was a
Which
Saturday.
is,
I don't remember the day that we went to, Armando had taken Christina for the day. And when he brought her back, we picked her up at the McDonald's. And we put her in the back seat and she was jiggling on her seat. I can tell she was sad. I asked her what was going on. She said that it hurt down there.
let me stop you. Is this during the time between February and the 3 to 4 months that Rosemary was living with you, or after when she got her apartment?
No, that's when she was living with me.
Okay. Whose we went to pick her up?
Me and Rosemary.
Okay, what happens then?
Okay, well, like I said, I asked Rosemary if, give me permission to check Christina, which she said, okay. We both went in to check her in the bathroom, which,
The Stripes?
excuse me?
At the Stripes? Like around the corner from the McDonald's in Lamb County?
Yes.
Okay, what happened then?
I took her to the emergency room in Littlefield. And they said that they didn't have the direct person to look into this. So I rushed them to Lubbock to UNC, and they did a rape case on, a rape thing on her. And they verified that she was penetrated.
And that was after she had gone to visit Armando. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. And after that, what happened?
They started their investigation. Rosemary and Christina went back to live with me. And Rosemary wanted to go back to live with David. And she had offered me $600 a month to take Christina.
Okay.
So I got CPS involved to see what we can do.
And then what happened?
She went and got the apartment in Littlefield.
Is that so she and David could be together? Or what?
I told her I couldn't take care of Christina because I have a foster child that I'm raising.
I see.
And she went and got an apartment.
Did she and David get back together at that point?
Yes, they had gotten
How
back
long-
together.
Were they staying with each other, or were they all staying at one house or the other house? How did that work?
Before she got the apartment, she went back to live with David. And then she went and got the apartment and moved out.
Okay.
That's when she was pregnant.
Pregnant with who?
David Jr.
So after David Jr. was born,
Okay, there's
I'm
some issue with the timeline here because David Rangel Jr. was born according to the pleading, in July of 2023. You're testifying about events that happened in 2024. And so this does not compute.
Okay, I'm trying to think here.
So
Hold on.
is the date of birth of David Rangel Jr. accurate? Or are we talking about things that happened in a different time frame?
Okay, well, all this happened before David Jr. was born. When Rosemary and Christina came to live with me because of the accusations that were toward David. And then Rosemary wanted to file charges against Armando. She lived with me.
What accusations about David?
Armando had some accusations toward David that he was sexually abusing Christina.
So at what point did Rosemary and David live together after David Jr. was born? Or did they?
They lived together, let me see. Maybe 4 months. Cause I think the baby was 4 months, cause she left on, in October.
Okay. And did CPS object to them living together after David Jr. was born? That you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. And did she leave in the middle of the night?
I don't know. I don't know when she left, what day, what hour, anything. All I know is that when I went to go see her the next day, she was no longer at the apartment.
Did you
And
try to find her?
Yes, I asked around and they told me that a male and a female went to pick her up in a red Dodge Ram.
Okay. Do you know what Armando drove?
A red pickup.
Okay. And since that time, y'all have not been able to get any response from her in person, on social media, or have any contact. Is that right?
I tried to get her on Facebook. Nothing. She just ghosted.
Pass the witness. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bunishek. I'll tell you what, let me take a quick break. Let's just take a 5-minute break. All right, Mr. Bunishek, you were getting ready to cross-examine Ms. Montoya.
Yes, I believe she just passed to me. I don't have any questions for the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mrs. Esparza, do you have any questions for Ms. Montoya?
No.
All right, Ms. Ricker?
I'll call my client. David
Mr.
Rangel.
Rangel, if you would please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony, oh, I'm sorry, you've already under oath. You testified previously. I apologize. Ms. Ricker, your witness.
David, how long did you guys live together after baby David was born?
Say, about 4 months.
Okay. And when did she move out again? Remind me.
Like, when Linda was taking care of Christina, I was paying Linda to take care of Christina, so Rosemary could be at the house with me.
Okay, when was that?
Oh, I don't know the dates on that, but
What month? What year?
on 23.
Well, no. When was baby David born?
On
7/23?
July 23. Mhm.
Okay. So you guys lived together until from July 23? No, let me ask you differently. When did you guys live together after baby David was born? 7/23/23.
Well, we lived before then, that was in 22, I think. 22.
Okay.
Okay,
When,
hang on,
we
Mr.
met.
Rangel, listen to the question, please, sir, and answer the question that is asked. It was regarding when you lived together after the child was born.
Oh, she was living in the apartments after that. She was living in the apartments and I was
Okay,
living at my
hold
house.
on. Ms. Ricker, do you want to just ask another question? Try to listen to the question, Mr. Rangel, and answer the question that is asked,
Okay,
okay?
When David Jr. was born and he comes home from the hospital, what house did he go to? Rosemary's apartment or your house?
my house.
Okay. And did he stay at your house with Rosemary and you after that?
Yeah, 4 months.
Okay. So if he was born in July, he stayed there July, August, September, and October of 23. Is that right?
So, yes, ma'am.
And in October of 23, where did Rosemary go?
To the apartment.
Okay. And then when did she leave her apartment and leave Lamb County?
In August,
Of what year?
4, I think. It's 24, I think. 24.
So from August of 23, or excuse me, October of 23, when she got her apartment, to
Mhm.
August of 24, did you still see your baby?
Yes, ma'am.
How often did you see him?
Well, nearly every day when Christina was in the school, I went to see the baby and nearly every day.
Okay. Did anybody ever arrest you or bring criminal charges against you for any allegation?
No,
Okay. Have you ever been told by CPS that you can't be around David Jr.?
no,
Have you ever been told by anyone that you can't be around David Jr.?
no,
Okay. Have you ever threatened Rosemary to sign an affidavit in any way, shape, form, or fashion?
oh, no, no,
Okay. Did you ever touch Christina inappropriately?
no, ma'am.
Okay. You take a lie detector test for that.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
How old are your children?
My kids,
Yes, sir.
they're 16 and 15 now, right now.
And how your oldest child is how old?
The older, well, it's 44, 43.
Okay. Where does he live?
No, that's my daughter in
Oh,
Plainview.
excuse me.
My daughter.
Okay. So you had all girls before
Yes.
David Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
and you lost another child
Yeah,
to an accident.
Yeah, Christina.
Okay. How old was that she when that happened?
44. When did she pass away?
Yes.
Let's say about 10 years ago.
Okay. So your 15 and 16-year-old girls, how often do they come to your house now?
Well, I'll say about right now, I haven't seen them since school was out, so I'll say I'll probably see them this weekend, probably. But
So
yeah, I'll say about once a week to say. I see them about once a week, twice a week.
okay. How do you guys arrange that? And how did they come to live with their aunt? What happened?
Well, when their mom passed away, my daughters were still young, been 2 years since their mom passed away. And my kids wanted to stay with their aunt because they're girls and, they had and she got a daughter, so they wanted to stay with her, with their aunt. But they lived about, say, 3 miles from my house.
Okay.
They're in hers, so I see them often.
Okay. Let's talk about David Jr.
Mhm.
Did you take care of him?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like for you to look at these photos that you have given me. Let me pull these up. You may I screen share?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Oh, well, that wasn't the one I wanted. Let me fix that. If it could be any slower today, I'm sorry. Can you see that picture on the screen? Let me fix it here. Can you tell me how, is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
And who took these pictures?
Rosemary.
Okay, and how did you get them?
She sent them on the phone
Okay, where is he in these pictures?
in the apartment.
Okay, and did he come over to your house?
Once in a while, yes.
Okay. So we would offer P1 or 2, Your Honor, which are these photos of the baby.
Okay, I think they should be R2, 3,
R2.
and what, how many are there? 3? 2, 3, and 4?
Let me double check. Yeah. R2, R3 are they going to be the photos?
All right, any objection to those photos coming into evidence?
No objection.
All right, they'll be admitted as respondents exhibits 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. And do you have those, Judge? Or do you want me to screen share them?
I can see them.
Okay. Is this your home that's going to pop up now,
Yes,
David?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this your kitchen?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your den?
Yes. My
Okay.
living room. That's my living room, yeah.
Your master bath?
Yes, ma'am.
It's kind of fancy, that wall. Is this, whose bedroom is this?
That's mine.
Is that your walker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's the nature of your disability?
Oh, what are you?
What is it?
Oh, Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Okay. Whose room is this?
That's one of the back rooms,
And this one?
the back room.
Okay. And where is the crib located? I don't see a photo of that.
Well, I took all that off after she left. It couldn't find her.
Okay.
But I still got that crib on the back room.
Okay.
There's still another little room on the back that I got all that stuff. Her stuff, there's some stuff that she left there, stuff from the baby that's still there. You know, a lot of clothes, brand new clothes that I bought for Christina and for the baby, and he's still there.
Okay. Can you bathe a child?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you feed a child?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you take a child to the doctor?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you dress a child?
Yes, ma'am.
You've done all those things for your own children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you change his diaper?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you work with ECI debt if they were to come to your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you asking to be able to go to his doctor's appointments?
Oh, yes.
And are you asking to be able to contact all his providers about what's going on with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, coming up with the money to go back and forth is going to be the issue. Is that right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Are you asking that she be geographically restricted to Terry, Lamb, and the county between those two, which is Hockley?
Yes,
So she can't go further away from you.
yes, that'd be pretty good.
Okay. Are you asking that you be named as a joint managing conservator of your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you'll return him when the court says to return him. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If the judge were to give you a standard possession order and you were to have first, third, and fifth weekends, could you exercise that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If the judge were to say you could go once a week, could you exercise that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you need to be supervised to take care of this baby?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let's talk about some other things that you're concerned about. One is the active protective order and the possession orders that don't give Armando Robles any access to both David Rangel Jr. or Christina or Rosemary. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking that he have no contact with your child?
No contact.
Are you also asking that you guys be ordered to, well, let me ask this. I guess you're going to have to do all the driving because she doesn't have a driver's license. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Has she ever driven a car that you know of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
She just,
yes. I was showing her how to drive. She knows how to drive a little.
has she ever had a car that you know of?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you'll provide the car seat and all the things that you need to transport your child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you asking that she meet you in a public place because of all these allegations that she's made against you? Okay. Is the
Yes, ma'am.
McDonald's in Brownfield a good location for you?
Well, can she drive to Levelland?
Well, she can't drive, no car. How are we going to do that?
Yeah. Well, did you say a while ago that Mary Salinas, her mother-in-law, was driving her back and forth to everywhere?
So you either want the McDonald's in Levelland or the McDonald's in Brownfield. Is that right?
Yeah, I want the McDonald's there in Levelland, yeah.
Okay. You've had babies overnight in your home,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes.
You're not on any kind of drugs or medications that would prevent you from getting up and taking care of a baby,
Oh,
are you?
no. Oh, no.
Okay. Your sister Linda, who's a foster mom, would help you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to talk about your disability a little bit.
Mhm.
You have, what, do you pay child support? Is that correct? On
Yes,
your big
ma'am.
girls?
Yes, ma'am.
And on your, I'm going to just show a part of this, but basically, actually, I'll just email the exhibits if that's all right, Judge, because of the nature of all this. Or do you want to see it?
I mean, you don't want it broadcast on YouTube. Is that what you're
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
indicating?
say.
Yeah, you can, if you can send them to, my court coordinator, at the Lubbock County address that you do have.
Has 'em. She has them. And
She
then I
has them.
can,
Okay.
yeah.
Can,
We,
so you're gonna need to get them to, I guess, Mr. Bunashek and somehow show them to Mrs. Esparza because she's a party and has the right to see them. So I don't know how you're gonna do that. I guess we could go off YouTube, so that those could be viewed. Is that what you'd like to do?
yes, that's a lovely request.